Hello again.
Again, welcome back to the next video in our series. So normally at this point in the process, we'd have our second client call where we'd get some feedback from them based on the thoughts we've done and the sketches and the references we've gathered. Instead, for the sake of this videos, we'll do this live on a call, giving each other feedback instead. So yeah, since last time, we've gotten the pillars, we've gotten some information from the client of what they'd like us to do, and so we've taken that and brainstormed a bit like we did in the last
Yes,
video and
sorry.
came up with initial sketches.
As a reminder, could you just somebody just copy the pillars in the top here?
I'll grab them.
I'll grab them. Maybe let's put some. Oh, there is notes up here. I don't need to put sticky notes. Yeah. So just as a reminder, Hope, Space, and Frontier. So we each dived into one of those pillars. So we each dived into one of these just to distinguish what we're doing, so we don't do the same three things.
Yes. And let's start with you, Jeppe. You did the space pillar. So, what's your thoughts?
Yeah. So since yesterday, I've been doing a bunch of different space shots. We know we want to see a planet from space and kind of show off the galactic trade or some sort of interaction between outside of the planet and the actual planet. And we know we want to show off some of what this colony is doing. And so we did a bunch of different explorations on how this planet could be utilized and what they're doing. So the premise right now is that this huge mega corporation is kind of mining out the planet for some valuable resources, and they're kind of mining out in like this big crater of some sort, and taking chunks of the planet away. So I started up here with with these ones up here, where I kind of got some happy accidents in Blender and did this kind of dome-esque boolean of sorts. And Andres, you did a few sketches on top, and we kind of like this going forward. This could be a view of the shot. It's always an interesting challenge to kind of make a composition with a big sphere in it. So down here I tried out a bunch of different ones and spiced up the mining crater a bit and tweaked some things with the space elevator. My idea is that this corporation is slowly mining away at the planet and kind of carving it out and then sending the valuable resources or materials through space elevators in each of these kind of craters. And
so somebody has a big shovel, takes a bite here, put it into this elevator that shoots it into space, that then gets sent off back to homeworld.
Yeah, exactly. So and it kind of serves like an egress point. This kind of ring around the needle, where subcontractors could dock in here and maybe. So I had the idea that however this game is gonna work, that you might be able to take some contracts of finding valuable materials or valuable resources or doing other kind of stuff for merchant companies docking at this ring, and they're kind of delivering off goods and you can buy stuff.
So down here is excavation, and
exactly.
Take something, put it into this ships up here. So processing is up here, you say, or is it just send off?
I guess processing would be down in at the bottom, and then once it's processed, it would be kind of lifted off. And either as you said, this could I could turn it into kind of like a space cannon, like a Gauss rifle, just launching things out into space. This way, it could be kind of fun. But it could also just be a kind of instead of using rockets to escape the planet's gravity, you could kind of just elevate it up and put it onto some ships. This image here to the left, I kind of tried to illustrate that feel that there's like cargo ships coming in and like landing at these rings somewhere.
Yeah.
I think it would be really good to have the element of traffic, like heavy traffic somehow, like either being like the one you have on the bottom right with a lot of ships kind of docking and flying off, or the one where you see a ship approach as well. So we kind of have the sense that there's stuff happening.
Yeah,
I think
like commerce and traffic. I think, as you say, those are good words because that tells the story like something is happening that generates value, then is shipped off. I think that's the important part that we need to showcase. Traffic, indeed, and commerce.
Yeah.
It could also like be a nice contribution to the to the actual like sky dome of the game, that you have this big space elevator available to see from everywhere, and you can kind of see ships coming in and landing and stuff like that.
Like,
could be really cool.
Like the big tree in Skyrim, that you always have this thing in the background. You just always have
yeah.
this elevator with the rings and top and then the traffic of ships going in and out.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, what you say?
I think of Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. That ring. Not the Skyrim.
Also kind of like Halo, right? You always see like the halo going around. But that could be really cool. I love like an interesting sky dome, and this could lend itself really well. We don't know. I don't know about like the play space area yet. Like, are you running around in this crater and collecting stuff? Are you running around on the surface? You might be able to do both, right? But I think it could be interesting. Could give some interesting views. Like this crater would be massive. Like the walls would feel like mountains. If you look at like the scale. Again, this could be a relatively small planet with low gravity or something like that. That would make this a lot more maybe believable or feasible in some way. But
I'm seeing this planet as a moon, more like what is called Phoebus in AO. What is it called? I'm trying to say stuff from Jupiter. I blank out. I don't remember the names. But aren't they just like 200 kilometers across? Like, they're not really that big. That would make this like not as a massive planetary scale, but more like a valuable moon. Because it would also make sense, because if we remember how Earth moon is created, it was a planet size of Mars actually colliding with Earth, knocking off a piece that now is the moon. So that could be like all the valuable resources that have been knocked off into this moon.
Well, I guess it's really cool to see that there's already different ideas for different like biomes, right? I can imagine players having a mission on a cargo ship, or having a mission on the ring and the space elevator, or in the canyon.
It would open up for a lot of like different play styles and areas, like really contrasting areas as well. So that's super cool. Should we actually just venture on, and then at the end we can try to merge ideas and figure out?
The final note, I guess, is like really like the nebula or whatever it's called in the background of this one here, because you really see the beauty of space as well. So it's good to have that. Like, we get the pillars of both space, frontier, and some hope in there as well. You have some beauty as well, so it's not all industrialized capitalism, but there's actually a bit of beauty in it. Well. Cool. But so next up, Andreas, you explored some frontier.
So just to summarize, like you're doing the grand space, Melik, you're doing the street view. I'm trying to do the in between, just to bridge between these two ideas. So I was trying to take your ideas. I was very inspired by your image up here. You have like these Boolean shaped holes. So I was just trying to do a Boolean shaped hole in the planet, and then show the mega structure, the space elevator in the middle, and then having these trenches out. So I did these compositions in Blender, just trying to see how can I fit all the talking points into one image, and I came up with this at the end. Is the camera angle too whack? I don't know. I like the camera angle, but maybe it's gonna make people seasick.
I guess if it would be like an action shot where you kind of fly into the crater, it could be cool. But if it's a moon shot showing off the frontierness,
maybe it's like this would be better. Okay, I'll have to work on that, because in my head it made sense, but I can see now in retrospect that it might be a little bit too whack. So I was trying to fit in the talking points of the mega corporation or the space elevator sending off cargo, so it would have like some sort of lift mechanics in here that would send off material, having all these factory parts down here that sort of breaks things apart. Then having all these cliff sides, which is like the scraped off rock in a, like having that as a very clear visual, different color and different texture than the surface. And then having this city here where there's all this green light. So we were talking briefly about the fact that there was wind and very harsh environment on top, but then when you go down to the trenches, you get this moist collecting, so it would be all green. So in this city, you'll have trees and whatever people brought from home, they can actually grow down here. So I was thinking about light and green stuff, and then just make it amplified, make it even more green and lush down here, in the contrast to the barren world on top. Is that too many talking points?
I guess, I think the main point for the client here is to get like this mood shot that kind of sells the idea of frontier. So I guess maybe what is the essence of frontier here? Is that kind of the contrast between the surface and the subsurface as well? Yeah. Yeah. So we have the kind of the American desert feel to the top here.
Yeah.
So I guess there should be like really harsh conditions up there.
Yeah, I was trying to go for like this blowing wind that would sweep in across these holes, and then having these big rocks that has been carved out by wind and nature through eons.
I think I think that the kind of composition you've gone with here is kind of like, it lends itself more to that, like you're like blazing down in a shuttle and landing somewhere down here. I think when I like hear frontier, like I imagine that wide open like Grand Canyon-esque view, and I think
okay.
I think something like something is a little bit off about this hole. It's maybe it's too small somehow. If you look at the moon-sized one over here, like I imagine that.
I wanted to keep it. I found up here these very nice references of open pit mine.
I think.
And I think like it is contained size of some sort. It might be like 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers across. I know that it's on a bigger scale, but it seems maybe too small. Like too small.
Yeah, maybe a bit. But imagine like this view up here with there's a ton of these shots where you stand on like a kind of plateau and looking down into the Grand Canyon. Yeah. Imagine if the Grand Canyon was like this, the mine,
the edge of
mine walls. Yeah, so you can just see like, and because the hole is kind of irregular, you could get some like things in, but still have it be like a big environment. You could have like a.
So actually, that seems more like this one up here, to have the edge, and then have a traveling stick salesman standing here.
Yeah, exactly.
And I also feel like maybe the one on the bottom right is too much space. Like it's focusing too much on the space elevator, and it's just a zoomed-in version, slightly of the one that Jeppe did. So maybe this angle would be better, just not so much focus on the space elevator, more focus on the open wides.
Yeah. I think that would be really cool. And also, like, if you have this guy here, you could have like a speeder bike or something, just to indicate that you can like travel everywhere in this. Like, you can run down the canyon in the bike as well, or something like that. It'd be really, really cool. Yeah, exactly.
2 kilometer drop.
Yeah, and just make this whole massive. It's just really like have it like, because the air condition is super clear in the Grand Canyon, you can just see for miles upon miles on end, and I think that could be super cool and add a lot of scale.
Yeah, that's some really good points to it. And still, I had these like long trench. I'll see what I can do, because I really wanted that trench feeling to go off, but maybe I should just get it more going that direction.
Yeah, you can change the angle a bit.
Yeah, and then maybe raise the camera a little bit, and then just get that. And then I would still like to add another elevator in the background, just to showcase that this is not a unique place, but there is.
Maybe a couple, maybe one. Wait, like
like
thousands of kilometers away almost.
Somewhere, and then maybe some traffic up here, like some light traffic.
Yeah.
Could be good.
To see the sky or something.
Yeah, but I must admit, I was really struggling. Like, we never really discussed what are they mining.
No.
But
Valuables.
Determined,
On a,
Something that strip mines a planet.
can
at
we
least.
can we come up with a shitty name for a new, like the Undetermined?
I think we have
you don't know what is
a working title. Yeah.
a working title, but I'm really in love with this Minecraft world from the marble excavation site. Yeah, please tell me we can make something in Blender like this, right?
We'll make it. We'll make it.
Awesome.
Great.
Okay.
So maybe transitioning to the next, or the last pillar. So Malik, you worked with the Hope.
Yeah. So my task was to get a bit closer down to the actual level of the miners and contractors who have settled around these huge corporate mining facilities. So I basically tried to do at first 3 different shots of how it could be down there, and it's supposed to be a bit more hopeful. So they could be growing, they could be having vegetation down there because it might be a bit more moist than up in the dry area. So for the first one, I was
Can I ask a question? Isn't that tree like ginormous? Would it be like some sort of radiation that has turned like trees and whatever you brought from home? Or is it?
It could.
Am I just spitballing here? Like low gravity turns trees really big.
low gravity and higher oxygen, like could potentially make things really, really big.
Yeah, because I love the scale of this thing, because it is it the Arcane where they have this giant tree?
Yeah.
A tree is just a nice gathering point where like life and niceness happens around.
I think the references up here as well. Yeah, for the Arcane tree as well.
Yeah. Bingo.
It's just here. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, it's very much so. Yeah, in the middle of this square, you could have this huge tree, and it could be an alien tree since it's if it's bigger than normal.
Yeah.
In sci-fi, we can explain it somehow. If it's gonna be oxygen levels,
genetics.
Yeah. At this
Whatever.
stage, I think it's just important to get some generic cubes and cylinders in there, just to kind of get a composition, and so nothing has really been designed yet except for like the composition and start on the lighting. For the second one, also with like a square, but this time with a bit more of a view in the back of potentially the space elevator, or like the corporate mining, and then you'd have like these big towers of shanty towns, basically. So that's the theme for that one. And for the third one, I thought maybe like a shot to see a different way of them working, and that could be by transporting the things at the bottom of these canyons. They would be transporting it by ship. But then we had a good talk yesterday also, where it would be nice to be able to see somehow the mining in the back. So I tried making a fourth one, where you see it a bit more from top, so it's not as close and intimate as the other ones, but then you'd be able to see the canyon, and then it's going all the way to the
all the way down to the tower in the background.
Mining,
You're right. It's less intimate. It's like less in the town, but you do get a better overview.
You get a bit of that favela vibe, right, from from Brazil as well, where they have these sprawling favelas downhill as well. So you get a bit of that vibe. But I think it would need to be like zoomed in to have like
I think we also need
some personal moment, at least somewhere in
you
there.
highlighted up here.
Yeah, I think if you take like the thing you did up here and just put it somewhere here, right? Just you can maybe even go closer and have like a nice patio, or like a rooftop bar or some sort. Like they're sitting with their legs up and like a beer in their hand, and like watching this view could be super, super awesome and really, really cool.
Yeah, I also think like further out, so you can actually see the depth of the trench and all the houses sitting on the side. And then
Right.
going a bit closer in on a moment of some sort would be really nice.
Yeah, I don't think. I would say
Maybe
you.
a rooftop down here or something, a rooftop bar in here, so we can actually see down the canyon as well. So could be.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, but you were saying.
Yeah, I was just saying if from like the way I see it, you almost don't even like need to move the camera. You could just like push this gulch a bit out so you can see more down and like have this really up close, so you kind of have like a person maybe almost like laying this way with a beer in his hand. Oh, that's a really bad drawing.
The mirror art, yeah.
Yeah. No, but I really gravitate ultimately to the fourth one here because it's
Yeah.
But if we could get that intimacy back into this image, I think that would be a winning combination.
Yeah.
I think the intimacy is the primary feature, and then having the space level in our background is nice to have because then we have the connection to space. But it's not doesn't need to be that dominant feature of the composition.
Yeah, definitely.
So focus more on the intimacy.
Yeah, I think definitely like you can push in a lot more of that. Like there's a bunch of space here that's not really needed per se. Like I don't know what's going on up here if you have something planned, but you could have like move stuff around as well. And
I think it works very well because I mean the first one, the tree, we'd have to explain the tree somehow as well. Like there's gonna be some questions about what's like why is there these big trees, and then that's the whole story almost. The second one could work, but I mean I think there needs to be some sort of like it's just a street, so there needs to be of course a moment designed here. The water might be a bit.
But maybe this also gives us an opportunity to make some sort of social hub, like a bar or the tree where people meet. Like you have this, like maybe we zoom further down, and then we have this bridge across where there's a plaza and some bridges connecting, and then you have this big tree, and then as you say, some bars overlooking it or something. So you get this like city feel, more compressed city feel. And
I really like this bridge, by the way. It's like I really feel like that could be like a bustling street with like market stalls and people like shouting, and I could almost like feel and
what kind of grilled
like
meat?
hear it.
What kind of grilled meat do they sell there? What kind of alien on a stick did you get in Twitter?
They just need to put it out in the sun and it grills by itself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just hold it up. Whoa.
It will be like these massive round beetles of some sort that you like kind of just lay out and they
Like
cook in the sun.
Duck. The inside is juicy.
Yeah, like that. What's it from? El Dorado? The cartoon, where they crack open that big, what's it called?
Armadillo. It's called.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's the pet. They have an armadillo pet, but it's like the beetle version of an armadillo. It's called something funky in English. I can't remember what word it is.
But probably it's critter.
A roly-poly, I think.
Yeah.
It's
called
grill critter, whatever they sell here. But
to wrap up, I guess I think it's a very good idea. Like we have a good idea of where to proceed with each of these concepts now. So the plan is now that we're gonna kind of go into a bit more focus mode, get some concepts drawn out, and then the next couple of videos will be some deep dives for each person to talk more about how they would approach the process of developing these concepts further, and then we'll do a wrap up at the end where we kind of combine everything into one.
But awesome work, guys. It's really interesting to see our every take here, and that we still are able to sort of have every image as a step from one to another. So it's really great. Yeah, but as Yannick said, let's just go into the deep dive and then we present the results in the next videos.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey.
Bye-bye.
Bye.